meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll start by just welcoming everybody. I just want to remind everybody that we are live streaming the board meeting this evening. So just know that you are being overheard and watched on the World Wide Web. Welcome those individuals who are streaming with us today. Do apologize for the late start, so I appreciate a little bit of leniency there. We will start with the consent agenda items. Earl makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Pat. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, 7-0. All right, I do have the public participation sign-in, and there was no one on the sign-in list who is asked to speak on any item that's not on the agenda for this evening. So we'll start with the Stronger Together recognitions. Teresa?
We have several of those tonight, which is our lovely audience that we have here today. So it's my pleasure. First of all, we're going to start with a gentleman who's made us very proud in multiple ways. I'm going to recognize him tonight. I'm going to start with him. And it's my pleasure to present a Stronger Together. So let me finish before you come up. Where are you? There you are. So I was sent an email from the district executive for the Hoosier Trails Council of the Boy Scouts, and he covers 9 counties in southeast Indiana. He said that their district gives out up to 3 awards each year out of 400 volunteers for noteworthy service, a district award of merit. And I am pleased to tell you that one of those 3 out of 400 volunteers is with us tonight. So it's my pleasure to present a Stronger Together to Eric Kelly. And Eric, before you come up here, I'm going to read this letter that was submitted on your behalf so that you're thoroughly embarrassed when you come up here. I nominate Eric Kelly of PAC 518 for the District Award of Merit. Eric Kelly is a registered scouter with PAC 518 in Jennings County. He has been a den leader for the past 3 years, serving as a tiger leader, wolf leader, and this year as a bear leader. With the challenges of COVID, Eric has stepped up with many exciting ideas for the Cub Scouts in our PAC. He has created and successfully implemented our PAC monthly hikes, utilizing the local state parks, Clifty Falls, Hardy Lake, Versailles, Brown County, Muscatatuck National Wildlife Refuge, Muscatatuck County Park in North Vernon, Selmer State Forestry, and the Jackson Washington State Forestry in Brownstown. Every month he prepares and disseminates flyers that tell how to get to the hike, how long the hikes will be, the difficulty level, the 6 essentials that that each scout should carry in their backpack, and a list of all hikes to come. This one activity for our PAC has been a lifesaver for the survival of our PAC. Eric has planned and facilitated a camp out for the Scouts last October, which we all know is what the Scouts want to do. He has contributed many hours of service to the Scouts in the PAC by helping plan and carry out fun activities such as our new cornhole tournament, Pinewood Derby, Rain Gutter Regatta, Pumpkin Carving Contest, Bicycle Rodeo, Blue and Gold Banquet, and our PAC Pinnacle Hike, Picnic, and Crossover Ceremony. He teaches at Jennings County High School, has been the Key Club Advisor for 8 years. He's been the Indiana Key Club District Administrator for the last 2.5 years. This position serves over all Key Clubs in the state and trains and advises the district board on district activities and events. He has served as a youth coach in the county for soccer, spring and fall, baseball and basketball for the past 4 years. He is a member of the North Vernon Kiwanis Club and which is geared towards serving the youth. He is in the business of serving others in the community, especially the children. He goes above and beyond in all his endeavors to put forth worthy activities for our youth. He has impacted not only our Scouts' lives, but also the lives of all of his students and the local community's athletic programs. He is a great role model for the youth. He's upbeat, positive in his dealings with the youth, organized in his approach to any and all of his jobs, and a hard worker. I encourage the district committee to strongly consider this registered scouter's nomination for the District Award of Merit in Terry French wrote that, and not only did they consider it, but they awarded it. So congratulations, Eric Kelly. And we're getting you a t-shirt too. So they're all gonna get one. You're gonna get one too. It'll just come to you later. Thank you. Eric, we require the winners to go over. You don't know that because you're the first one. All that service. So the next person we'd like to give a Stronger Together today, of the adult variety, is from the middle school. And we would like to recognize Missy Vance. Mrs. Comel wrote a letter recommending that Missy Vance receive a Stronger Together. Over the past 2 years, Missy has stepped up to serve as an assistant to the head custodian on several occasions, allowing us to not miss a beat and for everything to be handled thoroughly. She has never asked for anything and yet fulfills the responsibilities to their fullest capacity. She volunteers anytime we're in need of additional support or an extra set of hands. The outside of our campus has improved aesthetically beyond measure. This is because of Mrs. Vance's hard work, the donations she collects, flowered seeds, mulch, flowering pots, etc., and then the hard work to plant, mulch, and arrange the landscaping for our campus. This is very much appreciated, and the administration of JCMS believes her continuous efforts and commitment to our school is beyond anything expected. Thank you, Missy Vance, for being the very best. So Missy Vance, come on up. Thank you. And you saw that?
Yeah, said I was glad he went with me. Thank you.
Thank you. So next, it's my pleasure to recognize the Spelling Bee winners for each of our schools and then the district winners. So we're going to start, I'm just going to call you up in alphabetical order by school and then save the winners for the last. So when you come up, if you would come up and then just start going around here after you get your shirt and your certificate. We'll just keep going. So from representing Brush Creek Elementary School as the winners, we have Cameron Brooks, 6th grade, and Coraline Stevens. Great, come on up. I'm going to give you the ones that we don't use. You can ask her to spell a word when she comes.
As long as we don't have to.
Right. I was in the audience, and there were a couple I might have missed. Representing Graham Creek, we have Delaney Ritz, 5th grade, and Solomon Shaw, 6th grade. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And I love the Cub Scout uniform. That was appropriate tonight. Mr. Kelly's got. Good job. Can I ask for a demonstration?
Yeah.
Congratulations. From Hayden Elementary School, we have Sebastian White, 6th grade, and Peyton Collette, 6th grade. I recognize that one.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Did you get that spelling ability from your mother or father? Mother?
She takes after her father.
She takes after her mother?
I wasn't going to say it.
That was Dad.
I didn't say that.
North Vernon Elementary School representatives, we have, and this was cute as a button to watch because she's just a little bitty thing and she was up there with those big kids. Abby Patterson in 3rd grade and Zella Tascott in 5th grade. I loved watching you walk by and look at your mom every time. It was so cute.
Congratulations. Good job.
From St. Mary's School, we have 7th grade Heidi Hughes and Drew Spurlock in 6th grade. Either one of them. From Sand Creek Elementary, we have Marietta Claudio Hernandez in 5th grade, Isabel Littleton in 6th grade. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Well done. From Scipio Elementary, Chance Tidwell, 4th grade, and Madeline Crockett, 5th grade. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
And last but not least, we have the winner and the 2nd place finisher in the Spell Bowl. And how many rounds was it? Like 17 or 18? I feel like it went like a long time. It just kept going. So in 2nd place, we had from the middle school, Abby Vance. Is Abby here? And the winner was Molly Watson. Molly here? All right, we'll give those to Janie when she leaves too. So, all right, that's it.
Congratulations to everybody. Super exciting. We're glad that you were here and allowed us to recognize you. I think it's extremely important for our community that they see the wonderful things that you all are doing. So thank you for coming and being part of, allowing us to be part of that celebration with you. So.
Congratulations.
So now we have a middle school presentation. Yes.
Mrs. Comel.
Thanks for having us tonight. And when we finish, if some of you guys need to leave, don't feel like you can't leave. I know it's a long night for you. So we apologize if you have to walk out afterwards, but we want to tell you how excited we are at the middle school, what we've been able to do over the past several years, and share a little bit about what's going on this year that we feel like's made a big difference after COVID hit. So, look at this. As the administration, Mike Green, Angie Plenty, and myself, over the past 4 years, we've tried to operate with the philosophy of making certain we have positive communication, respect and encourage leadership in our building, and then also striving to develop the relationships not only with the students, but with the staff and the parents and the community. And that's kind of been our focus for the last several years. And so we're trying to keep things on the same pathway. And we haven't had an opportunity to talk with you guys because of COVID, so we're kind of catching you up on some things. We also have tried to create visions and dreams, understanding that when we work together and we have good work ethic, that you can succeed and meet those dreams that you might have. And also, we've established in our community, our school community, a sense of trust and mutual respect. That's something that sometimes, Angie will, or Mike will call me in and tell me to back off, that I need to think things through a little bit, and then we do the same thing to each other. So that's been our philosophy as the three administrators, the three principals. Along with that, we've tried very hard to take that down to the level of our students with the employability skills. Sabrina Nicholson is here with us today. She is the Director of Guidance at the middle school. And when COVID hit, we had to make some changes because we couldn't take 55 kids into one room and have them sitting in there together for 45 minutes. So Sabrina worked very hard on what's called mindful moments. And I want to have you watch a clip. I won't take you into the second part of the clip, but many of her not just her, but Mrs. Cardinal as well, many of their clips are just them talking to the students. And then sometimes it also leads into some research-based supporting information for students. But with that being said, they do this every single morning to start their day off. And so they come across the screens in the classrooms, the TVs, and just kind of help to set the day to make it a positive start for every student. So with that being said, I just want to share a little bit about this clip if we could. And they're very simple.
It is Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. So we are getting to a point of the year that things might be getting a little chaotic, a little, stressful maybe on your end. We've got midterms coming up and iLearn is coming up, and there's end of semester stuff that's happening. We've been doing transition things, and I know that sometimes things can get a lot of pressure and you just feels overwhelming at times. And so I thought today we would take a second and just kind of talk about stress. So stress actually can be a good thing. Just a little bit of stress. It kind of gets our adrenaline pumping a little bit, gets us, those endorphins flowing, and it helps us to kick into that fight or flight mode, that call to action kind of things, where we're gonna step up and do something, or we're gonna walk away to go somewhere else, find safety, whatever it might be. And so a little bit of stress is actually really good. It gets you going. Too much stress over a long period of time is where we have to worry about trouble. And it can have you can have physical reactions to an overwhelming amount of stress. It can affect your skin and your heart, your stomach, your muscles, your eyes, your lungs, all kinds of different stuff. It can affect you mentally. Scattered thinking, hard to learn, you forget things, you can't focus on things. It can affect you emotionally. You get angry easily, you get really down. There's all different aspects of how too much stress over too long a period of time can have some really major impacts on you. So, we want to give you a little bit of tips and tricks on how to manage that stress. So, I'm not going to talk overly long. You click on the chocolate cake because, like it says, stress is dessert spelled backwards. And so, for some of us, taking that time, self-care, to find something sweet to do for yourself can help, ease that stress a little bit, take your mind off of it. If you click on the cake, there is a short video for you to watch that gives you some tips and tricks on how to manage.
We might think, I'm stressed, or this is stressing me out, but what do we actually mean? And what can we do about it?
So what I wanted to share with you so you can see is every single morning the students start out with a way of being able to think about themselves and making themselves calm down, making themselves think things through. They cover every aspect, and many of those aspects also include what we are really focusing on our employability skills. So I'm going to turn it over to Sabrina at this time. She had no idea I was putting this clip in, and so she's probably going to wring my neck later. But I'm telling you, I want you to see it because it's so good that's how they start their day out. And sometimes when they come to school, they've had, especially middle school. I don't know if you remember your kids at middle school, but they come to school, they've already had an argument with you at home as a parent, or they've been sometimes they've always been a little bit too big for their britches when they come, and they come into school and they're in an upset mood, or they're tired because they've been up on their phones all night, or they don't have their homework done or something. And this allows them to just kind of get themselves in the right mindset and start the day. And I do believe it's fantastic, and I do believe that they deserve credit. And I wanted you guys to be able to see that because it's something that they developed on their own, and to make certain that they still got into the classrooms and still was able to be able to communicate with the kids. So
turn it over to you so you can all quiet.
Thanks. All right, she didn't mention there's a song on there too, but you don't have to play the song. There's always a song on there, because a lot of our students identify with music, and so I do come from an English teacher background, so the songs vary in all genres, because I just have this part that kids should be able, we should let them see there's more than just today's music, so anyway. We started Mindful Moments last year. It was me and the counselor that was there with me, and we covered coping skills and character building and stuff like that. This year, Mrs. Cardinal has done coping skills. She has 7th grade, she has the 8th graders, but she's done coping skills. And then I have done more on the side of career exploration and employability skills and that kind of stuff. So we've been bouncing back and forth. So our school counseling program, we are a Gold Star recognized comprehensive school counseling program. So that means that we cover 3 different areas throughout our program. We cover academic achievement, career planning, and then social emotional development. So within that academic achievement, we do have the students do a weekly grade check. So every Tuesday, they have a spreadsheet that we share with them the second week of school, really, once we've got some grades going. And every week on Tuesday, they update that. They can check their missing assignments, they put their current grades in there. It gives them a chance to have them accountable and be responsible for those grades. So we look at that. We do have one-on-one meetings with students to discuss missing work or low grades, organization. Those usually come from referrals from parents, teachers, or even the students themselves when they think they're struggling. We try to do honor roll recognition every quarter. We work with teachers to be sure students are placed in the classes to help them best. So if there's something that we need to do some adjusting, the teachers will talk with us and we'll do some consulting and see about making those changes. We do a classroom lesson every January with our 8th graders to help them see what the graduation pathways are, to kind of help them set off that transition to high school on a better step, so they understand what it takes to graduate. We also do classroom lessons in 7th grade and 8th grade about learning styles. That way the students can kind of see, how do they process, how do they approach different things, how do they learn best, and then we kind of help them to see how they can apply that to their own studies. And then we do a lot of transition activities. Our spring is a lot about transition. So we do 8th grade visits, we do 8th grade 6th grade visits, 8th grade parent night, 8th grade visits to the high school, and then our big one is our new student orientation in July. And that one we really push a lot because that is a great 4 hours for those incoming 7th graders to learn our building and kind of get used to it. When it comes to career planning, the Mindful Moments this year did hit on a lot of career stuff. I did the career things with that, and I usually focused on more of the trade type stuff. A lot of our students know about the traditional careers, so we wanted to introduce them to some careers maybe they hadn't heard of before. So we focused on that. College Go Week activities in September kind of kick off our career planning and career explorations. Mindful Moments this year, because of not getting a chance to do Reality Store, we did introduce resumes and interview tips and tricks to our middle school students. That is a standard the state has for school counselors. So we did that through our Mindful Moments. And then we did discuss employability skills in lessons and Mindful Moments. And then we do career type things in our impact lessons. Both of us, Mrs. Cardinal and I, both go into the impact classroom about every other week, and we do either character building or career exploration to help with those students. Next year, we're going to be adding back high ability lessons. This year, that kind of got, with all the chaotic stuff, we didn't quite get that in there, but that will be returning next year. When it comes to social emotional development, the Mindful Moments covered a lot of our coping strategies. We do different things all year long. Mrs. Cardinal, we rotate weeks, so every other week that they were learning some different things, just with the thought in mind that the students will find a strategy that works for them. So we put a lot of tools out there for them to try to use. And we do Mindful Moments covering self-care and working to find balance between the different parts of their lives so they're not becoming overwhelming or getting behind. Classroom lessons start the year. We do cover respect of self, others, and technology. We do one-on-one meetings with students to assist when needed. So if the parent reaches out or a teacher reaches out for them to be checked on, or if a student contacts us, then we will meet with them. And then we do lessons in impact and high ability resuming next year that also focus with that social emotional development. In addition to what we do with our program, we also promote 21st Century Scholars Program. We do a monthly push. We get applications out to our students. We do like little incentives each month, trying to get them to turn that back in. We start that with College Go Week, and they have an application that week that they can get points for. We get one out to our incoming 7th graders, so when they take the folders home from our 6th grade visit, there's an application there so parents can see it. If they want to fill it out and get it back, we hold it and wait, because we really want every parent to have that opportunity. And then at the end of the year, we have a big type thing that we give for everybody who has turned an application in, whether they get approved or not. We also maintain the Nutrition Club, and that is like, I don't know what other schools call it, but we call it Nutrition Club. It's like the backpack blessings that food gets home, sent home on Fridays. Right now, we are providing food for 43 students. So every Friday afternoon, we have teachers that help us out and they deliver those bags to lockers. We try to keep it very confidential, and then the students take those home. This year, we're down to 43. Last year, when COVID was high, we were up in the 60s, so we're trying to maintain all of that. We also maintain a school supply closet, a clothing closet, and a hygiene closet. So anytime a student comes in and needs something, we have those items for them. And then the last thing that we're just excited about next year, we are planning to bring Reality Store back. That is a huge undertaking, but it's so worth it for the kids. So I'm very excited about that one. And we're also bringing back Career Day. Mrs. Cardinal she is planning that one because that is her baby. I do Reality Store. And then we're also bringing back our auditorium lessons. So this year we do classroom lessons like every other month, and then the other months we do auditorium lessons, which are large group lessons. Because of COVID, we didn't do large group gatherings, but next year we're hoping we're gonna be able to do that. And those are shorter, just 20-minute, 25-minute lessons, but we can make a great impact in that time. All right, thank you. And the other portion we wanted to share with you about that's going on at the middle school, because you don't know if you don't get to hear about it. And that has to do with over the past 4 years that I've been at the middle school, we've really worked hard on the remediation, because by the time the kids get there, people say, oh, first grade they didn't teach them this in second grade. That's not the case at all. The situation is they've been taught it. It's just sometimes they don't always remember it, just like all of us. So we have we don't focus on first and second and third grade skills necessarily, fourth grade skills. We focus on the Indiana State standards for the 7th and 8th grade. And if students are struggling with that, we work with them on those standards. We started out with Karen Pedigo as the instructional coach and did an exceptional job. We went into, she got an administrative position. We went into the COVID year, and lo and behold, we were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And it was just truly a blessing. We had Callie Garrett who steps in, and it must be coming from like 3 generations younger than me, because she came up with some really creative ideas, and we did all of our lessons live at the middle school. And that was totally Callie Garrett that did that. So you want to go back into the classroom, totally understand. And then since then, we now have Karen Field who has stepped in. And I told Teresa when we brought her into the middle school, she has the pedagogy that I like to see for remediation that's an elementary background. But she has the organization skills. I swear it's got to be a god. Her organization skills are higher than anyone's I've ever seen. And so she's going to talk to you, and I told her that she's very, very limited on her time. Just so you know. Okay?
Get the slides back up, Seth. I'll try to go a little faster. Well, I will say that when I took the position at the middle school, the question, that I had for Mrs. Clemel was, but I have 25 or so kids every year that I impact, and I just don't know. That's a big undertaking. She goes, but now you can impact over 600, and that kind of sold me. And I've never looked back, and I'm so excited at what's happening there. And so many terms that she mentioned in her speech up here about vision and work ethic and things like that we're doing. It's making things happen for our kids, and that's why we're there. We're all there for our kids. So we have Paula Ertl, who helps with the math remediation side of our remediation team, and Leslie Brown, who's our English and language arts specialist there. My team is fortunate enough that I have worked with them in the past as well. So we do make a fantastic team downstairs in our room 20. If you go on to the next slide, Seth. Our remediation intervention program has key components, and it's our Panther Den team. That's what we call our area where we invite the kids down. There's a lot of collaboration and a lot of conversations that go on among the staff and even with the kids that make us successful. We do a lot of student data tracking. We have something called a classroom connection I'll touch on in a moment, and a Panther study. Next slide, please. So again, my team leaders are Paula and Leslie, and together we meet very frequently, informally and formally, with a group of parapros that are also down there with us, several ladies and gentlemen that are very much an impact on our kids. And it's so nice to have both men and women working with our students, because that gives them some good role models for the work ethic that we're looking for. Go ahead, Seth. So a picture of our team, part of our team there, they're not all there, but this team is phenomenal. They plan together, they support our students with incentives. They sit down and they brainstorm what makes our kids work for us. What are we gonna do to offer them some good feedback? And they model the work ethic. This team is such a model for our kids and the work ethic that they put forth. They review what the students are doing in the classroom. They go in the classrooms and they see what they're doing. And then they come back and they reteach that instruction, and they help create the better understanding of the content from the classroom. Go ahead, Seth. We are data-driven all the time. As you heard Z talk about how they do their grade checks, the kids do that. We're doing that for our kids too. We have our teams downstairs, they work on this, where they track every week what these kids are scoring in their classrooms, in their math and their language arts. And then they'll take notes right beside that student's name, when they've reached out, how they've reached out, did they email them, did they send them a note, whatever it was, however we're reaching out, we're documenting all that we're doing to get those kids on board. And you'll see their grades every week, whether they're going up or down, and then that's where our targets come in as to who are we gonna get down there next week. Go ahead. So then every day we send out a sheet like this. Every one of our teachers in math and language arts gets this. And so they can put on there, what's the skill we're working on today? And then our parapros and our staff downstairs, they get the student down there and they work on that activity, and they'll put notes, it's completed. Or, you know, somebody needed a quiet place to work that was sitting down there because they just were having a tough time getting something completed. So we document this every single day. I'm also not just organized, I'm the binder queen at school. So I have binders full of this where we're working with our kids on a daily basis and we're tracking the things that we're doing to help them. Here's an example of one of our students in language arts. This was their beginning grade, 24%. And you can see all the many times they went down to that lab in that semester. And by the end of that semester, they were at an 82% because they're working hard and they're making things happen. And that doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time to make that progress, but it's that commitment from the kids and the commitment from our staff that's making that happen. And with that staff that we have downstairs, it's just phenomenal what we can do with our kids. So, data-driven remediation and instruction from our group of Panther Den. And we offer lots of activities for them. When they're reading a certain thing in their language arts classroom, we may have a challenge that goes with that. If they're doing something in math, we may offer a challenge for something that they're working on in math. We send them a lot of positive things, locker notes, or an announcement over the intercom, or a good news note home. We celebrate what the kids are doing. It's the little things sometimes, and sometimes it's the big things. But we want to celebrate all of it because they are making the effort for us. And we offer them, you know, incentives to have no missing assignments or bring up your grade by, you know, 1 letter grade. We celebrate all of those things because that's what makes our kids successful. And we try to always recognize that. We also do our clear sight assessments throughout the year that obviously get us ready for iLearn. And so what I do is after we finish those assessments, I sort them by every one of our English language arts and math team. And I color code them so the teachers can actually see how each one of their students has performed. And then we use the color coding and we sort them once more. And then after our winter assessment, we take our groups by their color code and we do more small group remediation with all of them to get them better on those skills that they were obviously struggling with. So we just wrapped up our winter remediation session where each week every group got a small group dose of something that they were working on the assessments, and so they were able to improve. The teachers gave them some exit tickets each time that they would do some of the remediation to see how well that was working. And small groups, as you know, are incredible when you can have a smaller group of kids. So the teachers, the parapros, and everyone split up and took a group to work with so we could really be more intensive on what we were working on. So a lot of good effort on their part there. We also have the IXL program that supplements what we're doing with the math and the language arts, and we encourage the kids to use that both in the classroom and outside the classroom. Teachers can assign things, they can check the progress of the students, and then the staff down in the Panther Den even started thinking, okay, well, let's make some challenges here. And so we just finished some challenges from the math and language arts departments where the kids mastered so many skills and they earned things on each level as they went. And we have some kids that we've been celebrating in that area as well. So just a lot of things that are happening there that I'm so grateful for that our kids are motivated by, and they were very motivated by this. The classroom connection came about when, at the beginning of the year, when we started getting those emails saying, well, we have some extended absences. So extended absences is like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? The student's gonna be out for a little bit. We've got to do something to help them. So even though our teachers were doing all this phenomenal work on their Google Classrooms, teachers can't stop teaching in the classroom to help somebody that's sitting at home. So we established the Classroom Connection, which was a Google Classroom page that I set up. And then I would either email or call home and say to the parent, I know your student's out. Please reach out because we have a staff member that can jump on a Google Meet with your child. If they're working on math, their math teacher may not be available, but we are. So reach out to us and we'll set that up for you and try to help your student while they're home. That worked phenomenal. We had a lot of kids reach out to us on that, and I emailed and called every single student all year long that was on the extended absence list to make sure they knew that was available to them. Actually, Mrs. Comel told me I should tell you that
It's crazy.
I've sent out over 10,000 emails this year to people. So, parents and students mostly. She said 9,000 to her, but that's not true.
Close.
No, it's not. I do reach out a lot. I do a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. I email not only the parents, but the students. They need to be advocating for themselves as well. And I am so pleased to say that there's probably not a day goes by that I don't get an email from a parent or a student reaching back out to me. And that's what it's all about, making those connections. And then we have the after-school program. And, you know, kids, is that detention? It is not detention. It is an opportunity, and I sell it that way to the parents. We have an opportunity for your child to stay after school, to get some extra support, to get some extra time, just to sit down and work on some assignments that you might be missing. I have some students who are like, I've got so much going on this week. Can I stay after one day and get this stuff done? Absolutely, absolutely. So we have this program in place, and we have different staff members that stay out or stay after throughout the week and help with math, language arts, social studies, whatever they're working on. And it's not limited to just, you know, a tier student. It is for any student in our building. And I reach out a lot to parents and invite them in. I document all of those connections that I try to make for our parents to know that we do have support there. And I do get a lot of, I didn't even know you did that. Well, we do, and so please take advantage of it. And so I do literally have a parent nearly every week asking for their student to join and stay after school sometime throughout the week. So it's been a wonderful program, and I hope to expand that next year and add even more staff members that I can bring in to help the kiddos. And then this is what it's all about. Is it a reason, a season, or a lifetime connection? Because it is the connections that we make that make the difference in our kids and in us. And so to finish up, and I don't like to read things out loud to you, but I'm going to read this one because I think it's important. Many conversations happen among our staff to make decisions based on what is truly best for our students. We have to ask sometimes if we come into someone's life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. A reason to meet a need, provide guidance or support. A season to bring experience and teach something new. Or a lifetime to provide lessons to build upon in order to have a solid foundation for the rest of your life. At Jennings County Middle School, I hope we meet all three of these criteria, but it is certainly our goal to help our students build this lifetime foundation through each reason and season we share with them. So thanks. How's that? Is this going on?
You know, this is the last time I have to come and present to you guys. It's kind of bittersweet. It's probably a little sweet, but it's a little bittersweet. You know, I'm just being honest, but the truth of it is I'm really going to miss being at the middle school. You know, I've been at 3 different schools and at central office. This middle school staff is phenomenal. And they make Mike and Angie and I look pretty decent, pretty good. And then we love coming to work every day because it's just, that's exactly like she said, we're here to make it the best for the kids. And when a decision's made, you know, it's easy to say, oh, you know, is that what's best for kids? It's easy to say that, but they truly are looking at ways to make it better for kids and committing their time. And, you know, I've been accused of recruiting staff members. I did recruit Karen. That's the truth, and I can say that since I'm going to be leaving. But you know, you got to surround yourself with the best. And over the past 4 years, I truly believe we have the best at the middle school. So we appreciate you giving us time to talk to you today. And as I promised them that they didn't have to stay through the Neola policies. So, but we'll read about them later. And then, Missy Vance, I have to say, Missy Vance, Linda is a fantastic head custodian. She's fallen twice this year, broken 5 bones total, I think, and every single time, Missy will just step up and take over and make certain that we don't miss a beat and has everything in place, and she makes the outside, and I don't know if you've noticed, but the past 4 years, between Mike, changing the sign and doing things outside, and Missy doing the flowers and landscaping and stuff, the place looks so much softer and so much nicer and so much more inviting. And so I couldn't let this year go without making certain that Missy got credit for what she did, because she truly, and Linda will say, I give it to Missy and she makes it happen outside. So thank you, Missy, for that too. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, middle school.
Thank you.
I can't believe you don't want to stay for Neola.
Well, we'll read it.
I'm a little hurt by that.
She's gonna read it to a grandson.
She had an athletic event, so they could hear.
Okay, for those of you who are left, old business, what do you know? Neola policies.
I think it's quite exciting.
Yes.
I would like you to pull Neola policy 167.3, public participation. I think we have some more work to do on that one.
Okay.
But the rest of the Neola policies are up for second reading, and I would recommend that we pass that.
So moved. Second.
So I have a motion by Pat and a second by Travis. Is there any discussion? Again, we will be polling, just to make sure everyone is aware, 1673, 7.3. We'll pull that one and take a look at that one the next time. Since I have no discussion, all those in favor, raise your hand. And anyone opposed? 7-0. New business under administration.
Yeah, so it's that time of year I would like to present to you administrator contracts for renewal to add an additional year to their contracts, or 2 years. And if you, I'm just recommending the board approve those as presented in your packets.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Tony. Second by Earl. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Any opposed? 1 opposed. Okay, next under programs. Nikki?
Bringing just an inform, the 22-23 student handbooks, the buildings have those ready. So sent those to you this week. If you have any questions or anything following those, just reach out to me and I'll get back to you on that. And then I will bring it back for approval next meeting.
Okay. And then summer student programs?
So later on the agenda, I have some requests for some staffing positions for some summer student programs. So I wanted to share briefly some of the things that we'd like to offer for students this summer. Due to COVID, we have gaps like everywhere else across the nation that have been kind of created by some of the COVID times. We particularly looking at our data noticed 2 areas that are of concern that we think that we can help by providing extra support during the summer. One is credit recovery for our high school students that have developed some gaps and need some more credits. And then the other particularly is primary literacy. So our smallest students, K through 3, the pandemic had a big impact on how they're developing in their reading. So we'd like to offer some opportunities this summer to students in need to help get them caught up. There's really 3 main areas. First is high school, and this looks like this for the cover sheet. The first is high school summer school. This is traditional summer school programming comparable to what we've had in previous years for the high school. They anticipate at least a minimum of 60 student course enrollments. So that can be funded through the summer school grant is how that will be funded. And that would be equivalent to 4 certified positions and 1 paraprofessional. That would start Tuesday, May 31st. It's that Tuesday after Memorial Day. And students work on their own pace with teacher guidance and the Edgenuity platform. So they'll work throughout the summer. Then for our elementary students, to focus on those primary literacy needs, we have 2 programs that'll work together. The first is remediation for iRead. So students have 2 opportunities to take iRead in 3rd grade every year. The first opportunity is in March, and that's already completed. If students don't pass, they have a chance for intensive remediation and another opportunity to take the test again in the summer. So we have identified who those students are who need that intervention, and we'd like to provide an opportunity 2 different ways. The first, for those who were very close to that cut score, just need a little more push and a little more work in reading, an intensive week right after school's completed. So that is the May 31st to June 3rd, 4 days that they would come and get help and practice in reading and then retake the assessment. And then the second half of that is some who are a little further in that gap and need more help, getting help throughout the summer with a tutoring program with a teacher, and then retaking the test later in the summer. So that program would be 4 staff members total. It would take us 3 certified staff members and 1 non-certified staff member, and it would be about $5,000, which we would use ESSER 3 funds to cover. And then the second program that we would have for students is for our K-3 students and a few identified 4-6 students for an elementary summer reading tutoring program. This is a little an out-of-the-box idea, but to support our kids in reading. Last year, we were successful with summer school. We saw that data, particularly with our 3rd graders, that we saw a big change in their reading for pre-test to post-test. So looking to expand that with our younger kiddos. The summer reading tutoring program would be one-on-one. It could be small group with some K-1 kiddos. We are able to provide, based on money that we still had left in ESSER 3 for summer school that we had budgeted originally. We had some leftover money last year, so that would be used to provide this program. Each school would have a set number of students, and that's in your packet. You can see on the tutoring program the estimation of what we're able to provide. It would look like 2 certified staff members at most of the buildings. NVE would have a 3rd, and 2 non-certified staff members per building that would be working with students one-on-one. So they would have 6 open spots in a day schedule to work with kids if you account for contract time. And so 6 students would get scheduled with 1 teacher, and that teacher would reach out with parents and schedule where and the time for that tutoring to take place. So offering flexibility both for our parents to help kids get the reading help they need, and our staff, and it hopefully encourages more staff to want to be a part of the program because they have some flexibility on when they can schedule that. Summer's 9 weeks long, so if you think that it's 18 sessions for a student, that's like equivalent to 2 sessions a week, and it'll carry them completely through the summer and help hopefully raise some reading levels for kids who have gaps developed. So the total cost of both of those elementary programs fits within the budget of what we had left over that we budgeted for summer school last year in ESSER 3. So we would just capture the use of that money and provide the tutoring program to, at a minimum, 156 students, if everybody takes advantage of the opportunity. If they choose to do a couple small group sessions with kindergarten and 1st graders, it could be greater than that. So those are the 3 possible summer programming options that would be available for parents and students to take advantage of for the summer. Questions about any of those programs or details on the budgeting?
Sounds great, and especially being able to try to meet their needs and flexibility with the parents and the kids, so, and the teachers. So.
And we know the only way we're going to make up the gap is additional time. We just have to have additional
There's no
time.
substitute for it.
Thank you.
Nikki, that's just an inform, correct?
That is an inform here. I'm asking for the positions to be posted.
Okay.
For permission to post the positions further down.
Okay. Does anybody have any additional questions right now? Of course, there'll be another opportunity to ask questions if needed. No? Okay. So we'll move down to professional staff, and then I have recommendations.
Yeah, we have the Career Increment Master Teacher Stipend for Michaela Hines. Casey Ernstis is going from the middle school head track coach, girls track coach, to assistant girls track coach. Josh Land, we're looking to extend another year on his current supplemental boys basketball contract, so extend that through 22-23. and Christy Sigler, the high school head girls varsity basketball coach, add another year to the current supplemental contract. Hers is well extended through 22-23.
Can I ask a question before you ask for it?
You can.
I must have missed this, but on the high school sports that we're talking about, the basketball, I would like to have a report from the AD on what his recommendations are. I didn't see it.
We have those. I have that for you, Earl, if you want to see it, yes.
Yeah, before I vote. And I'd like to know the record and all of that. Can we table this for one meeting?
Yeah, I
Fine
don't.
with me, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I just want to be clear, we're only talking about tabling or pulling out Josh Land, the head boys varsity coach, and Christy Sigler,
Sure.
JCHS
All
head.
high
The
school.
others, okay, just those two.
Yeah, thank you.
So what Earl has asked is we pull out those bottom two. So we still need, under recommendations, the master teacher stipend, and then the Casey Ernest, the JCMS girls head coach to assistant. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for
Okay.
that.
So I have a motion by Travis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Tony. Is there any additional discussion on the two positions? No additional discussion. All those in favor? Any opposed? So 7-0. Okay. Do we need to, I want to make sure we're doing this correct. Do we need to make a motion to pull out and hold those for the next, or I think since it's already on a posted agenda?
Did we make a motion to table it?
I did.
Well, so I didn't get a second to vote though.
Oh, okay, you gotta have that.
Okay, so now, Earl, that's what I wanted to make sure we did. Earl has, I believe, made a motion to table the two for the high school. So do I have a second? Second by Chelsea. Is there any discussion? No discussion. All of those in favor? And any opposed? So 7-0. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that little bit of confusion. I want to make sure we got that right. No, I just want to make sure we got that right.
I
Thank
should
you.
have seen it.
Okay, so then next on the agenda, we have posting JCHS certified summer school positions. And this is related. Okay,
Yes.
We'll go ahead, Nikki, you're up.
So permission to post the 4 certified positions for the high school summer school.
So moved.
Okay, so I have a motion by Pat. Do I have a second? Second by Chelsea. Is there any additional discussion? Again, we're talking about the high school positions. Any additional discussion? Okay, all of those in favor? Any opposed? 7-0, Debbie. Next, we'll move to the 14 certified summer tutoring for elementary positions. Nikki.
So the 14 certified teachers for the summer tutoring program, this is for the one-on-one or small group focused on K-3, but 4-6 could be included. This is already budgeted within summer school for ESSER funds. So permission to post those.
Okay, do I have a motion? Motion by Susan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Pat. Is there any discussion? No discussion, so all of those in favor? Any opposed? 7-0. And then we'll go to the iRead.
So then permission to post 3 certified positions for the iRead summer remediation program. That's for 4 days is the length of time for those positions. That's that intensive boot camp.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion by Travis. Do I have a second? Second by Chelsea. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? 7-0, Debbie. Okay, so now moving on down the agenda, we have support staff recommendations.
We do. I have Blake Blanton for the Jennings County High School, a volunteer for the boys track and field coach. I have Jennifer Campbell. She's going to be a Jennings County High School parapro in a SPED self-contained classroom. Savannah Kinnear is a Sand Creek paraprofessional. Matt Capes will be a middle school assistant boys track coach. Cassie Elliott will be a Sand Creek paraprofessional. Hannah Everhart, an NVE parapro. Brenda Little is a Sand Creek parapro. Shanna Lovett, an NVE cares paraprofessional. Lori McCain is a Jennings County School bus aide. Wyatt Messer is going to be a high school volunteer assistant strength and conditioning coordinator. Catherine Safely is a Sand Creek Elementary cook. Megan Stevens is the Jennings County Middle School head girls track coach. Asking for approval.
Motion.
Motion by Earl, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Travis, any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? 7-0, Debbie. And then it looks like we have another request, yes.
So permission to post one paraprofessional position to support high school summer school.
Okay. Motion by Chelsea, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Pat, any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? 7-0.
And then permission to post 12 non-certified paraprofessionals for the summer tutoring program support.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion by Pat, do I have a second? Second by Tony, any discussion? All those in favor? And any opposed? 7-0.
And then permission to post one non-certified paraprofessional for the iRead remediation week-long program.
Motion by Tony, have a second. Susan, second by Susan, any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. And then we move down to summer internship positions.
Yes, that's one I'm going to present. This summer, as usual, we usually have students or staff that maybe want to work additional hours during the summer, asking for permission to post 3 grounds worker positions. That would be the weed eating, mowing, helping take care of the grass during the summer. We're asking for 4 technology positions, 1 central office assistant position, 1, I'm going to change the wording on this, it's not directly working on buses, I don't want to mislead anyone. It would be a transportation assistant, so washing buses, helping with that process. 6 custodial positions and 2 maintenance intern positions, but we would be looking to fill those for the fall. Asking for permission to post those positions.
So moved.
Motion by Pat, do I have a second? Second by Chelsea, is there any discussion? Discussion?
No.
Okay, sorry. All those in favor? Any opposed? 7-0, Debbie. And then down under students, Teresa?
Right, so each year we have to turn into the Department of Ed our student transfer cutoff for non-residents. And so I'm recommending that we use May 24th, 2023 for that date for the next school year, which will be the last day of school. So we would continue to take transfers if we had space in each of our places through the end of the school year. So I'm asking for approval.
Do I have a motion?
Yeah.
Motion by Travis, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Pat, any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0, Debbie. And then under finances, we have donations.
We do, asking the board to accept donations from Ascension St. Vincent for $1,000 to the high school student athlete leadership team. NDIC, $250 to the high school student athlete leadership team. NDIC, $250 to Tammy Galloway at Hayden to help fund the Lego Club. Betty Lois Pauley, and member of Curly Patterson, $50 to the high school Panther Pantry. NVIC, $250 to the high school choir for musical supplies. DMB Embroidery, $120 to Sand Creek for student council t-shirts. Joe Mills from Sims Bark in Crothersville, $400 worth of mulch for landscaping at the middle school. J.C. Pallet of Butlerville, $150 trucking fee to haul mulch to the middle school. The Erler Cardinal Family Foundation, $565.71 to NVE to purchase comprehensive research-based toolkits to help students with math facts. So asking the board to accept those donations.
Do Do I have a motion? Susan, is there a second? Second, Travis. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. And then we have under finance, the March fund report. Discussion about that? That's informal.
No, it's an
It's an
informal.
informal.
Okay.
You've got that.
All right, so under operations, then review and update the Panthers Prepare and Care Plan.
Yeah, so we are required under the ESSER guidelines to review our Panthers Prepare and Care Plan each 6 months. The letter that we used in February to state our update of the plan, I presented you with and asking you to approve that for our 6-month review. It is also posted on our website. Basically, that was when we rescinded the masks and social distancing and those kind of things. The Department of Ed came up with new guidelines at that point. So that's what that letter reflects. And then, of course, a follow-up when the Department of Transportation allowed school buses to stop wearing masks. That was a few days after that letter, so that was also included in your packets. So asking the board to accept those 2 things as part of our 6-month review requirement.
Okay. Do I have a motion? Susan, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Pat. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. And then I think we're down under relations. An MOU?
Yes, we are bringing an MOU from Western Governors University for a student-teacher relationship between Jennings County Corporation and that university. So it's a typical MOU that we share, asking the board for approval.
Motion by Travis. Do I have a second? Second by Susan. Any discussion?
Just a question, do they have any kids right now?
2?
Oh, good.
Yeah. 2.
It's a great opportunity to recruit. Yeah. Yeah. Any additional discussion? All those in favor? 7-0, Debbie. And then resolution and engagement agreement.
Yeah, so if you recall, earlier this winter, I shared with you a desire to enter into litigation with Jewel Labs as a result of the marketing to our students, to high school students. And so we have initiated that. We have a resolution and engagement agreement that we're bringing to you tonight. We're ready to file that on behalf of Jennings County Schools to initiate the litigation with Jewel Labs and join that class action suit with other school districts. So asking the board to approve that agreement so that we can sign and move forward.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Pat, second by Earl. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. And then down under other.
Yeah, so we are interested in investigating the purchase of land on Highway 50. So we'd like to ask the board for permission to have the land appraised and to initiate that investigation and then bring back the facts to you to determine what action you might want to take. So asking for permission to move forward with that at this point.
Motion.
Motion by Earl. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Travis. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0, Debbie.
That's all I've got.
That's all. Great. Well then, hearing no other items, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Chelsea.
Second.
Second by Pat. All those in favor? 7-0.